Hi, in section number 3, you will be learning the configuration management and clustering in DevOps. First video in this section, configuration management tools using Chef, Puppet and Ansible. In this video, we will cover introduction to configuration management, what actually is configuration management and why it is needed. Then we will move into CM tools starting from Chef, then will be Puppet, another CM tool widely used. Finally, we will have a small introduction of Ansible. Introduction to configuration management. In configuration management, what actually happens is, in the beginning, you install your machine. For example, you are installing a Linux machine, it will come up with a standard configuration. After that, you need to make that machine either a web server or a DNS server or a mail server, application server. It can be a database server. So in order to configure the machine from a raw installation of Linux, the steps you take is being done by the configuration management. So configuration management helps you to move the machine into a desirable state as a web server, database server, DNS server, or any other application server. Automation plays an important role. All these steps which you need to do sometime on one machine or on a number of machines, these automation tools makes those steps easily done and efficiently on your client machines. Let's look some of the advantages of configuration management. It reduces the redundant work you do. For building up a particular machine, you have to do a lot of steps. So the configuration management helps you reduce those tasks and make the process automated. It effectively manages simultaneous updates, avoids configuration related problems. Now starting with the first configuration management tool, which we'll be working on, Chef. Chef is written in Ruby and Erlang. It streamlines the task of configuring and maintaining servers, can easily be integrated with cloud-based platforms, has solution for both small and large-scale systems. Run in a client-server mode, and wherever needed, it can be used as a standalone configuration. Coming up with the Chef server, it's a central registry or a brain of the entire process. Acts as a hub for configuration data. Has the information about the infrastructure. Store cookbooks, which are the policies for nodes and clients. Coming on to Chef client. Client is installed on the all machines and nodes. It connects with the Chef server, fetches cookbooks, and finally execute them on the machine nodes. It's the Chef client which does almost all the configuration work which is needed on the client machine and nodes. Moving on to the second CM tool, which is Puppet. Puppet is an open source configuration management tool written in Ruby. It defines the state of the IT infrastructure you have and then automatically enforces the correct states, the desired state in which you want your infrastructure to be. It manages configuration of Unix-like as well as MS Windows, Microsoft Windows systems. It has a Puppet manifest which describes the system's resources and states. Puppet follows the server-client architecture. Client is known as an agent, server is known as a master, and it can also run as a standalone application with using command line. Puppet servers can be one or more. Puppet client is installed on all the machine's nodes which need to be managed. Agents communicate with the server and fetch configuration instructions. Agent applies the configuration on the node and sends a status report to the server. Devices can also run Puppet agent as a daemon and triggered as a cron job. Finally, moving on to Ansible configuration management tool. Ansible is an open source platform used for configuration, orchestration, and deployment. It manages resources using SSH, which is a secure shell. It is built on Python language. Ansible is agentless, so no client installation is needed on the nodes and machines which are to be managed. Now look at the operations of Ansible. Resources are added to the Ansible configuration. SSH authorized keys or pseudo credentials are configured to manage resources. The client machines and the nodes which are to be managed, SSH keys and pseudo credentials are used in order to access those machines. Ansible's master server communicates with resources using SSH and performs all the necessary tasks. Ansible deploy modules to those resources and then monitors or does some processing in monitoring, such as CPU's resources of the target machine or node. Our next video will be more detailed one on Ansible, its provisioning, configuration management, and application deployment tool.